To Turning Point USA Communications Director Candace Owens. Candace, it's been in the news for lots of stuff. I'm very happy to have you, Candace. But first off, on your reaction to this, I mean, what the president seems to be saying, you know, I believe laissez-faire and free enterprise and unfettered capitalism and lower regulations and all that. But I don't want you to be sticking it to the American people, or in this case, of those who need vital medications. What do you think of what he's proposing?
I think it's on point with his message. He's all about Americans first. And for far too long, the pharmaceutical industry has been rigged against the American people. These companies have been in bed with regulators. They've been in bed with the government. And honestly, we need to reach a point where we're talking about deregulation, allowing fair market competition again to bring these prices down. We've also been taken advantage of overseas via these socialized healthcare systems, which are demanding unfairly low prices from our drug makers overseas. So I am completely on board with this message, and I can't wait to see what he rolls out.
You know, it is a delicate dance for Republican governors, congressmen and women, and obviously the president, isn't it? I mean, because they like unfettered capitalism. They espouse that. You know, in most cases, it does a lot of good. But in extreme cases, it can lead to companies taking advantage of that, which he clearly seems to be stating drug companies have. How does he handle that, especially with other CEOs and other industries who might be saying, gosh, he's worried about the price of the drug industry's products. What if he sets his sights on mine? I'm thinking of Jeff Bezos not too long ago and how he maybe has taken advantage of the U.S. Post Office. You know this theme that's come up a lot.
Right, absolutely. I think that this is not something that Donald Trump is not aware of. I'm sure that we have to hear what he has to say. I'm sure that they have thought this through thoroughly, and that he has a plan to attack that as well to make sure that they're not taken advantage of. What it comes down to is this is what he has always said that he was going to do when he got in office, is take out the government, make the government smaller, allow people to compete again, make it fair again for other people to get into the industry. I think it's going to be largely positive. We always see this. People start to freak out in the beginning until we see that his plan always ends up being tremendously successful. I have full faith in the president on this one as well.
You know, Candace, just because you have said things like that in the past, and they seem to be very rationally thought out, whether you like the president or not, you've gotten on a heap of controversy, and you've thrown it right back at people who say that you, as a prominent African-American woman, shouldn't be saying nice things about this president. How have you reacted to that? Because unlike others who sort of just take it in stride, you're going on offense.
I'm definitely going on the offense when we're talking about smear and libelous claims, suggesting that because I support my president, I also defend Nazis or I promote white supremacy. I think for far too long, conservatives have allowed this to go on. We have seen reputations ruined with these sorts of smears when you Google someone's name and they have those harsh words and terms next to them. And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to use fear tactics. And I think it's high time we punch back, and that's exactly what I'm going to start to do. I'm not going to allow my reputation to be smeared or my character to be attacked because I support the president and because I love America. But
more to the point, you're going after media outlets that do it. Could you explain?
Correct. Because media outlets, as I said, I'm fortunate enough now that I've gotten ahead as a public figure, but they smear anyone that suggests that they promote capitalism, that suggests that they like the President Trump, and ultimately that harms their reputations. We cannot allow this. We have to take a stand as conservatives. For far too long, the liberal media has been really using these terms like white supremacy when they can't even define the term anymore, using terms like racism and sexism and misogyny. The net has gotten far too wide, and it's time to reel it in and to put some pressure on these companies.
All right. It's a fascinating thing to watch because it's something you don't typically see. Normally, if someone is taking heat, maybe the Gawker situation, but this is a little different because it's a little bit more mainstreamed here. Candace, we'll watch it very, very closely. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.